You know, when I think of starting a radio station, my brain immediately goes to a very specific image. I'm picturing a dusty basement, soundproofing phone peeling off the walls, a mixing desk the size of a dining table, and a massive antenna on the roof that probably required 3 different government permits to build.
That is the classic image. The barrier to entry was physical, financial, and honestly, mostly bureaucratic. You needed a literal tower to reach people.
Exactly. It felt like a club you couldn't get into unless you had millions of dollars or a degree in electrical engineering. But you've brought something to the table today that suggests that era is completely dead. We're talking about Radio Pro from Superview TV.
It's not just dead, it's been replaced by something invisible. Radio Pro is essentially the entire infrastructure of a broadcast station. The studio, the transmitter, a business office, the marketing team, compressed into a browser tab.
A browser tab. So, no software downloads? I don't need to install a complex driver that crashes my laptop?
Nothing. And that's the hook. The premise here is, what if you could launch a global station for, say, 399 Rand a month, and you could run it from a coffee shop in Cape Town or a hotel room in Tokyo?
Okay, let's peel this back. Because running a station is a big vague term. I've seen tools that let you stream a playlist, but that's not a station. A station has logic. It has flow. How does this actually work when I log in?
So, you enter what they call the dashboard. Think of this as your mission control. It's designed with this really interesting philosophy of adaptive complexity.
Adaptive complexity? That sounds like marketing speak.
It's actually quite practical. If you're a beginner, the interface is simple, just the basics. But if you're a pro, you toggle a switch, and suddenly you have deep analytics, advanced routing, and revenue tracking. But the core is the command center. You see your listeners, your current show, your money, and your schedule all in one view.
Okay, let's talk about the content. Because a radio station is a hungry beast, it needs to eat content 24/7. How do I feed it?
This is where the cloud infrastructure comes in. They give you 25 gigabytes of storage right out of the gate. And it's not just a hard drive in the sky, it's powered by a CDN, a content delivery network.
Which means no buffering?
Exactly. You bulk upload your tracks, and the system is smart enough to handle metadata, artist, genre, even BPM.
DPM? Like beats per minute?
Yes. And that matters because of the DJ features we'll get to later. But the real magic is in the scheduling. You're not just making a playlist, you're building a clock wheel.
A clock wheel. I haven't heard that term since I took a media class in college. Explain that for the listeners who think a clock wheel is a car part.
It's the recipe for an hour of radio. You tell the system, at the top of the hour, play the station ID. Then play 2 upbeat songs. Then play an ad. Then play a talk segment. You set that template once, and the automation engine runs your station forever, based on those roles.
So I could technically go on vacation for 2 weeks, and my station sounds live and curated the whole time?
You could go on vacation for a year. As long as the library has content, the clock wheel keeps spinning.
That's impressive for the passive side. But radio is about live energy. The Ninja Live Studio. I love the name, but does it work? Can I really broadcast live without an external mixer?
You can. It's a browser-based studio. You click Go Live, and you're on air. You can invite co-hosts to join you remotely, just like a Zoom call, but for broadcast audio. But here's the kicker for the tech-savvy crowd. It integrates with OBS.
OBS? The software all the Twitch streamers use?
The very same. So, you can take your radio show and simultaneously push it to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook video. You aren't just running an audio station anymore. You're running a multimedia network.
That blurs the line between radio DJ and content creator.
That line is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And Radio Pro knows that, which is why they included a built-in DJ mixer in the browser. You can trigger sound effects, stings, air horns if you really must.
Please don't encourage the air horns.
But you can mix live. Crossfade tracks. It's tactile, even though it's digital. You don't need the physical hardware, but you get the physical control.
Alright, I'm sold on the tech. It works. But here is the hard question. The one that kills most creative projects. Money. How do I not go broke doing this?
This is where Radio Pro shifts from a tool to a business platform. They've built a monetization stack that's actually quite aggressive in favor of the creator.
Aggressive how?
Let's start with ads. Usually, if you use a platform's ad network, they take 40, maybe 50% of your revenue. YouTube takes a huge chunk. Radio Pro lets you run professional ad campaigns, lower thirds, audio pushbacks, and you keep 90% of the revenue.
90%? That is unheard of!
It's their way of saying, it's your audience, you keep the money. But ads are just one layer. They also allow you to create subscription channels.
Like a Patreon built into the radio?
Precisely. You can have your free public stream, right? That's your funnel. But then you have a VIP channel where subscribers pay in rands to access exclusive shows, ad-free music, or specialized content.
So I could have a morning show for everyone, and a deep dive after dark just for paying members.
And the system handles the access control instantly. But it gets deeper. They've integrated a CRM, customer relationship management.
Now we're talking corporate speak again. Why does a DJ need a CRM?
Because on Spotify, you don't know who your listeners are. They are just numbers. On Radio Pro, you see purchase history, you manage contacts, you can send them WhatsApp updates or emails. You own the data.
That is the holy grail. Owning the relationship. If you can email your listeners, you aren't at the mercy of an algorithm changing next week.
And that leads to the physical world. They have an events hub. You can sell tickets to virtual concerts or real-life meetups directly through the dashboard using PayFast. You can also do live streaming for very important events, and customers can watch your performance from anywhere.
From a browser tab to selling tickets for a live gig. It really is an entire ecosystem.
And they wrap it all up in a mini site. You don't even need to hire a web developer. The system generates a professional website for your station where people can listen, buy merch, buy tickets, and see your schedule.
Wait, merch? I can sell t-shirts too?
Manage products, orders, shopping. It's all there.
It sounds like they've thought of every possible friction point, technical, financial, logistical, and just smoothed it over.
That's the goal. It's about scalability. You can start on the free tier just to test the waters, or go pro and get white label branding, and suddenly you look like a major media conglomerate.
It's fascinating. We used to think of radio as a dying medium, something being eaten by podcasts and streaming algorithms, but this makes it feel alive again. It feels like it's giving the power back to the curator.
That's the philosophy. Algorithms give you what you think you like. A radio station gives you what a human knows you need to hear. And Radio Pro is just handing the microphone to millions of potential curators.
Broadcasting without boundaries. It's a catchy slogan, but after hearing all this, it actually feels true.
It is. The tower is gone. The studio is in your pocket. The only limit left is, do you have something to say?
And that is the question we'll leave our listeners with today. The tools are there. The barrier is gone. So what's your station gonna sound like?
If you want to find out, you can sign up for free at superviewtv.co.za.
Simple as that. Thank you for walking us through the future of radio broadcasting.
Pleasure to be here.
And to everyone listening, stop dreaming about it. Go press the on-air button. We'll catch you next time.